So CLAT 2025 is officially behind us, and we know that you're eagerly waiting for the paper analysis. What is the difficulty level of the paper, expected cutoffs, what you can expect this year, how the paper is different from CLAT 2024. And so for this only we are here back with you all to share the deeds into this paper. So welcome back to our channel, and so without testing your patience, we'll delve deeper into the insights of the paper and what you can expect this year out of the paper. So first off, let's talk about the paper itself. Talking about the level of the paper, it was between easy to moderate, more of easier, because when we go into the deeper detailed analysis of the section, we'll know that most of the sections were easier. So yeah, the paper was easier, and so very much similar to the CLAT 2024 paper, I would say, from my personal experience. So this was very much similar to CLAT 2024, and very much many of the things you can expect to be similar to the CLAT 2024 paper. So going deeper into the section-wise analysis of the paper, talking about the English section, it was overall easier. So the direct questions were there, passage-based questions, no much thinking to be there, and I would say that 20 plus score in English would be really very good. So I mean, you should keep this as a benchmark, firstly, and secondly, what we saw as different this year as compared to the last year's paper was that vocab-based question was there in every passage, at least one question. Like antonym, synonym, meaning-based questions, but they were very much easier to do, like synonym and antonym, meaning of words like assimilation, volatile were asked. So these are very much basic things, so no much difficulty in that. Coming on to the legal reasoning section was again very much easier. Some passages like that of Contract Act or GI tags were shorter, so less reading time was there. I mean, that would require less reading time. The passages were overall easier. The section was also overall easier. Questions included both situation-based questions like understanding the passage and then applying whatever you understood, and even direct passage-based questions like what is there in the passage or something like that. Most of the questions were like that as well. So the paper was overall easier. So the legal reasoning portion was overall easier, and a good number of a good score would be at least 27 plus out of the 32 questions that were there. So at least 27 plus score you should look for if you want your dreams to be fulfilled. Coming on to the logical reasoning section, it was also easier. The logical reasoning section had both recent passages which were like from 2024 itself, and even previous passages like the COVID-19 based passage which was there, which was from 2022. So both were there, but it was easier, doable, and I don't think much difficulty was there in attempting the section. One analytical reasoning based question was also there, which is different from the last one, which we can say, because generally analytical reasoning was not asked, and something which could not have been expected, but still it is there. But it was seeking arrangement-based question, and I think since you are preparing for this paper, I hope that you would have done that and nothing much to say about or cram about that. We have not done that or something like that. The logical reasoning section, at least 18 to 19 plus score you should expect if you are looking forward to a good rank or a good selection. So yeah, 18-19 plus score must be there at least. QT section, if we talk about, it was easy to moderate. One passage was relatively easier as compared to the other. There were simple percentage, average, total based questions, simple mathematical questions were there, and at least one passage must have been done, like a score of 6 should at least be there, 6 plus you can expect, and if you have time you both were doable, but at least one must have been done, because like the QD section, one passage was relatively easier. So yeah, so it was easier to moderate, and one passage at least you can look for to be there and to be done in the paper. Coming on to the GK, the most awaited and the most like important section of the paper. But I think before delving into the analysis, I would really like hats off to the team of CRACK CLAT tutorials, because all the topics that were covered were done many a times in the classroom, and even what I got from the student interactions and their experience with the paper, the mock tests that were recently done, everything, the Olympics and bricks were the passages that had been asked in the last mocks itself. So a good thing. Talking about the GK section, the GK section was overall easy, though there was static question like CDM. It is something like a very good, I think, because the passage on civil disobedience movement was from the class 10th history book, chapter 2 from class 10th history book. But still, it was 10th class, so most of all of you would have done that. So it was there, the Reorganization Act of 2019 JNK. It was again static question, but something which was very much doable. Like capital city of Ladakh was asked, and how many districts it was divided into. How many districts were there, and how many divisions were there in this act. So which was in the passage only covered, and it is something which is very general knowledge based question and passage. So no cramming about it that it was a static question or something like that. It was very much within your limits. You should know at least these general things as CLAT aspirants, because you have a lot of things to cover, and you cannot say that this is something which was static and not current. So nothing like that. Both questions were on these two static questions. Those static were general knowledge based and doable if you have that much of general awareness about the country and the states and history, of course. CDM is nothing much. How CDM started, Dani March. So very basic questions today. The Nari Shakti Vandanadiniyam, something which was in a lot of headlines last year, of course, in 2023, but certainly another important topic, because it was certainly something which was a very big shift from the status quo that we had. So yeah, starting with something I think those who are reading newspapers would have known very well. So nothing much about that. Also, the BRICS question and Olympics, of course, were recent 2024. The BRICS passage was from 23rd October only, just a month and a half back. So nothing much to talk about it. But GK was overall easy, very much doable. Out of the 27 questions that were there, 27, 8. So 22 plus 4, at least you must have in GK to like cross the cutoff. So at least 22 plus 4 in GK must be there. So this was the section-wise the analysis of the paper. So overall the paper was easy, doable, workable. Good number of attempts would have been ranging from 105 to 10. Good number of attempts. More emphasis on marking the right answers is something very important, because the paper was easier, so less number of wrong attempts could be expected. So now coming on to the most awaited section, which all of you would be waiting for, that is the expected cutoffs. So based on this year's level of paper, like it being easier, 62 3,000 candidates sitting for the exam. So and the overall performance of the exam, we can expect that the cutoff for top 3 national law universities could be around 97, 8 somewhat for general category students. And talking about the top 10 NLUs, we can expect that the cutoff could range from 84 to 91 marks for the general category students. But I think one thing that I would emphasize upon is that seeing that this paper had a very similar level of difficulty and the pattern to the last year's paper, so you can expect similar kind of cutoffs going, and similar kind of because the number of candidates also were very much similar who sat for the exams, so you can expect somewhat similar cutoffs like last year, 1 or 2 marks below and above, but nothing much change I think we can expect unless and until we get the true results. Yes, so these cutoffs are something which are based on initial feedbacks and the kind of paper that we saw, but things really change when you really attempt the paper and how you attempt the paper, how you mark the answer. What seems easier on surface might have been really different on paper and on your OMRs. So we can expect a concrete answer, I think, only with the results. So you have to wait until then, but this is somewhat you can expect a general overview of that. Yeah, so that's all for today, the analysis of the paper and the expected cutoffs, and we hope that your paper would have been very, very well. The answer key by the consortium would be released by tonight or tomorrow morning itself, so wait for that, check your answers, and the results will be released sooner, within 1 week or so. So be prepared for that. And I would like to emphasize on one thing, that you have given your efforts throughout the year. So whatever the results be, whatever the cutoffs be, whatever your results be, your goals, you should work for them. And I would say that your determination and perseverance towards your goal would actually determine how you succeed in your life. So be positive, be calm, don't stress out, take a good rest today, get up for your edit from tomorrow onwards, and best of luck to all of you. Thank you, that's all for today.